Her name was Larisha Sherelle Thompson. That's Larisha Sherelle Thompson. Let me see if I can look it up real quick on here. I gotta bear with me for a second, cause the story goes: 6 illegal aliens charged for the brutal murder of South Carolina mother and random attempt robbery. Right, I can't see too well, so give me a sec. Right, but that's the headline. Like the head, you know how the headline is usually in bold. And let me hit this too. Try to do two things at one time. You know what I mean? Lancaster, South Carolina. This was May 15, 2025. Um, Local authorities have charged 6 illegal aliens between the ages of what's that, 13 and 21, with the random murder of a Southern Carolina mother, right? Black, foundational black. Well, you know, we still trying to decide whether we're African Americans, blacks, Negroes, you know, we still trying to figure out what to call ourselves. Um, Her name was, you know, Latricia Sherelle Thompson. So this was back in May 15th, 2025. They have also been charged with burglary and attempted armed robbery. So they tried to rob her. She's a mother of two, I think. And I'll share a picture on my Facebook page, because I brought her name up. This was back in May. And they really didn't cover it too much. Well, you know the Democrats ain't going to cover it because it makes them look really bad because they just opened up them borders like that, and then want to still deny it and still be in denial of it. Like that's why I'm like, you know, this is Volothan modulus tautology, and I'm trying to understand y'all psychology. Well, I'm not trying to understand y'all psychology because I know it's a Western ideology, right? It goes back to Sigmund Freud and his whole id, ego, and superego nonsense. And you know, part of me want to cuss everybody out. Other part of me is just praying because it's all one timeline. It's like it had to happen, right? This is God's timeline that we own. All that, you know, you got a choice, and you know if you choose A, then this timeline will happen, and if you choose B, then that timeline will happen, and hence, you know what I mean, everybody's the Flash. You know what I mean? But y'all don't even know about the Flashpoint paradox, right? Where the Flash goes back in time, saves his mother, and then as a result of that, Superman, something happens to Superman, or they kidnap Superman and put him underground so he never gets to see the light of day. Batman, Bruce Wayne gets killed. So Thomas Wayne, his dad, becomes Batman, and he's vicious. He's vicious. Wonder Woman's a dyke, so she actually hangs up Steve Trevor by the neck, right? Aquaman. Oh, she also kills Aquaman's because they was messing around. She kills Aquaman's love interest, and then they go to war with each other. The world was crazy. It's one of the best DC films. It's a cartoon. It's one of the best ones, you know. So Flash had to go back and, you know, let his mom die in order to get the timeline kind of back in order. But then that's what opens up all the possibilities of different timelines, yada yada yada. That's how they did it. Marvel is doing it with the Marvel universe now, so that's why they kind of is all messed up, because it's like, you know, how can they bring back the X-Men and you know the This Fantastic Four movie has something, and it just gets so convoluted and crazy, and then that's why you have like weird things like Silver Surfette. Like we get it, but she wasn't really Silver Surfette. She was more of a fire goddess or whatever. But we listen, one step at a time, okay? All right, one step at a time. So yeah, like I was saying, it's only one timeline. So all this perception of you are, God already determined what you want to choose, right? It's just corny because the book, the book that we're living in right now is actually The Boy Who Cried Wolf, and that's what happened. See, I'm playing modulus, right? That's what happened with where am I at? I'm in the middle of nowhere. It's a beautiful game. So this is well, y'all seen the title and everything, and me and my son, I've been trying to get him to play this one first, and you know, it's a real cool game. It's dangerous. It's all water. You know, it's one big ocean. So let me take this off. And then I just wanted to move a little bit to let y'all know it's real time and how I'm playing the game and yada yada. So like I was saying, where was I? Where was I? Um, when talking about The Boy Who Cried Wolf. So The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Y'all should know the story. Like you shouldn't lie. Is the basic premise of the story. So when Biden, he was destined to do what he did. Opened up the borders. That was one. Two, he put women at the head of the homes. So it's no longer the boy who cried wolf. It's the girl who cried wolf. All right, cool. The moral to the story on the boy who cried wolf is that the boy he took responsibility, and so it depends on who tells the story. The wolf eats the boy, right? So with the girl who cries wolf, like the wolf should eat the girl, basically, right? For lying, because she's still lying to the community, and the community just ignores her, and the wolf eats her alive. Like that's what what happens to the boy. I think that's why the Little Red Riding Hood was a girl, right? And hence the wolf was the liar, and whatever. However, the ending of the story, depending on who tells the story of, these old Aesop fables, and Aesop is one of the people that they give credit to. So, but I'm bringing that up because we're still lying, and it's like, we got to stop lying. That's first fourth thing. In order for us to fix everything that's going on, we got to stop lying. So, it was really sickening to see Barack Obama go on his wife's show and still lying about the LGBTQIA plus DEI PDF policy files, because dude, you acting like you gay and you're still lying, and the number of people that were hurt by that lie was ridiculous, right? I have friends that, whatever, passed away because they got the shot, that, whatever, gave up on life, attacked their husbands, and it wasn't good, right? The outcome was not good at all. So it's all right. The lesson is we have to stop lying. And here's the Democrats still lying their asses off. That's why I'm like, that party is dead. It's done. y'all have to accept the truth, right? And some of the truths is like that the Barack Obama's the main one. He became the president because of vote or die. Because hip hop said vote or die, and even it brought what's the wrestling dude name that just recently passed away? Hulk Hogan. I should remember Hulk Hogan's name, but Hulk Hogan fell out of favor with the black community because his daughter was dating a black guy, and he didn't like him, but we don't know if he was African or African American, right? It could have been because he was African. He just don't like Africans. He like African Americans, but don't like Africans. But then they're in this, what is African American? Is it a Negro or black? Right? See how the whole color and colorism is most ignorant stuff ever. And these ideas go all the way back to Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois. Booker T. Washington was the national Negro Business League. He was about handling the business aspect, the nationalism, making it a nationalism of independence, right, of the government. Whereas W.E.B. Du Bois was the national advancement for color people, the National Association for the Advancement of Color People, the NAACP. So he was more government helping, or a socialist movement where, you know what I mean? So it was supposed to be a national thing because that's what they were into back in 1900. The National Negro Business League was 1900, and the NAACP started in 1909. So now therein I have two dates. We can do the mathematics and see how it went from nationalism to today we want to say patriotism. We want to say nationalism is bad. That's why we're saying MAGA is bad. That's why we're saying Trump is bad, because he wants to be more nationalism. But we had to convert that to patriotism. But therein you get the globalism and the neo-colonialism, right? All these fake terms that they created to confuse the voter. That's why I say forget the Democrats, period. Let that party die. If the Democrats like Trump and Tulsi Gabbard and what's his name, Robert Kennedy Jr., right? They're Democrats. They went over to the Republicans. That party is full of Democrats and Republicans. MAGA is nothing but Democrats and Republicans coming together under the grand old party Republican banner. Cool. Let them be that. Who are we? We're foundational. I am a foundational black American. I can trace my roots back to day zero, where my great grandmother was a Negro native. She was a brown Native American. She's not from Africa. And she gave birth to my grandfather. He's the first. My dad is the second. I'm the third. My son is the fourth. Yes, I skipped a generation. I had to wait 40 years to have a son. But we building. We gonna build something. I wish he was here to play this game while I rapped, but we did a little video that I gotta edit it, and we really didn't get to do it how I wanted to. I was painting the picture. I made another video that I gotta edit. Real good information, real good, So and I do got two videos that I want to share. So y'all know how I've been doing. I've been sharing other people's content to say, okay, this is what they're talking about. All right, cool. This is the social studies. Right? I'm trying to get out of calling it politics, because it's you're talking politics. Like everything is politics. Even religion is politics. Like that's ignorant. Right? That's the ignorance. That's where I laugh at Barack Obama, because he represents politics, and it's like, all right, well, how do you feel about God? And he can't say how he feels about God. I spit on the ground. Hypocrite. That's where I'm at. So I'm gonna share a little bit of this content here. I'm trying not to go over 30 minutes because the algorithm says, if you do more than 30 minutes, like people stop listening the first 5 minutes or whatever. Um, that's why I'm trying to flip it up a little different, do a little gameplay, even though this isn't the game that I'm playing personally right now. I'll share a little bit more of that as I do more different videos, but it's all about hip hop. This is an American culture created by us, the children of the 1960 civil rights movement. It's a culture, it's a community, it's a consciousness. It's all of that goodness. You know what I mean? That God shared with us. So here we go. How many minutes did I do? 15 minutes. I'm already over. So here we go. Enjoy the videos. It's only like 10 minutes. So, and I'll be right back.
Hey man, I do what I do. Let me out this car. How many of y'all know how our lovely ladies get? Huh? Let me out this MF car and start kicking on windows and kick the window out. You mad? And now the police roll up, and what do? You start blaming him. You blaming him, and now you can't come down off of that. You can't come back off of that lie you made, that story. We'll call it a story because Uncle D don't want to get sued, right? You can't come back off that alleged story that you told. And so now you all in it. Now you got these white women rolling up on you. That's right, girl. You're the face of domestic violence. We're standing behind you, girl. And now you all in. You like, damn, I can't even back up off this conversation. I can't quietly make this thing go away. It's just got too big now. You know what I'm saying? So she can't slide out of it. That's why she uncomfortable. Bless her heart. She want this thing to go away. Shout out to W. Alfonso. Lucifer Ratzinger. Peace is a lie. My man Aaron Wells says, what? Great breakdown on the subject. Get shot in the foot. Even with a 22 man, if you get shot with a slingshot in the foot, much less a 9mm Glock, pow, close range. Oh my God, you're not walking away from that. You're not walking back to it. You're gonna lay down. You're gonna lay all the way down, and you're gonna have to do some months of rehab. What we doing here? So this is what we looking at, family. This is what we dealing with. So another black, it don't seem right to me, brothers. The facts don't add up to me. You got the district attorney, you got this bulldog of a defense attorney barreling down on the DA. The DA looking like, we might have got into something we shouldn't have. They looking at the witnesses. Well, who are our witnesses? Meg Thee Stallion and her homegirl. And they look shaky themselves. So the DA is like, well, let's see if we can get him to take a deal. Because we don't want to go to court with these two. But damn, we done got too deep in it. And they got this bulldog who's going to fish this whole story out, who's not going to back down, who got the money. This ain't some defense attorney fresh out of law school. This is one of Johnny Cochran's people. Y'all remember Johnny Cochran? He whooped our butt 25 years ago. You know him. So we about to catch that smoke. We about to catch this fade, as they say in California. We about to catch this hands. And who is our witnesses again? Meg Thee Stallion and who? The WAP girl and her homegirl who was in a fight. This is who our reputations are relying on. Our little lawyer reputations. We trying to get reelected and become judges in politics. This is who, and they might have been high off whatever. They could have been drunk. They weren't even in a state of mind. And all we can do is rely on what this detective is saying. And the detective is relying on what Meg Thee Stallion and her homegirl was saying at the scene of the crime when they was mad. Damn. This is what we relying on. This is what our reputation is gonna go in on, man. Chris Darden never lived that down. Chris Darden never lived that down. Chris Darden, you say his name right now in the black community. People sucker. And that's my frat brother. Sucker. You lost. You'll never live that down. So this is what we're looking at. Now, I want to try something else with you guys. This is going to be painful. This transition is going to be painful. This is something a little closer to home. We proved that sometimes these stories don't make sense. Haven't we? We've proved that black men make easy targets. Haven't we? Now I'm going to give y'all something else that just popped off here in H-Town. It's going to be hard for some of you guys to go with me on this. Hit the number 1 button. Let me know you're here. Also, this is very important.
Let's say he wanted to release it on Amazon or Netflix, or he wanted to just release it on YouTube. Does that mean that he can't do that because the agreement was with ESPN? I don't know. Like, I would have to see what the contract said. But according to Spike Lee, he said it's not coming out. That's all I can say because he has signed that NDA. A source briefed on the breakup confirmed to The Athletic that it was due to creative differences, but the source declined to provide specifics, saying that the two sides failed to get on the same page over the years the project was in development. It is believed the series can still be shopped elsewhere. All right, that's good. I'd hope so. Over the years, there has been reporting about the production delays on the docuseries, and it was tentatively titled The Saga of Colin Kaepernick. Lee told the Washington Post in 2023, "We're still working on it. You know, when I got the call to do it from Cap, I said, of course, but it takes time. This is an opportunity for him to tell his story at length." But last September, it was reported by Matt Baloney what he noted as creative differences in the vision of where the focus of the docuseries should be between Kaepernick's story and a broader telling of the history of Black athletes in professional sports and social justice. Now, 3 weeks before the start of the NFL season, the project is done at ESPN. So it seems like to me, if I were to make an assumption, ESPN does not want that full coverage. They just wanted the story about Colin Kaepernick, and they don't want Spike Lee to make those connections. Now, in defense of Spike Lee, I will say this. As someone who is filming a documentary, it's important that with a documentary, you are telling a story. And I think what Spike Lee may have wanted to do is make the point that it's not just Colin Kaepernick. What happened to him and why it happened to him is connected to others, and there's more to this story. To me, that makes sense. When I'm looking at documentaries, I'm looking for that. I'm looking for the bigger picture, not just this one little thing happened, yada, yada, right? And we've done that with my documentary as well. It's a big picture that people need to look at. And I'll also say this. Working on a documentary is a lot of work. You put in a lot of hours. I've put in a lot of hours, a lot of time. There's a lot of editing. There's a lot of B-roll that you have to gather. Sometimes you have to rework things. Sometimes you have to reshoot things. I've had to reshoot things a couple of times. Like, these are things you just learn along with the process. And I'm just wondering, I do sincerely hope that the documentary is published somewhere. Otherwise, that's just a lot of work that has been wasted. Now, I want to show you this because Spike Lee was just recently on Al Sharpton's show on MSNBC. I know, but he was just recently on there, and he's not talking about the documentary again because he signed the NDA, but he was talking about his new film with Denzel Washington, which he has another one with him. They've worked together quite a bit, called Highest to Lowest. And he's also talking about how people need to wake up. Listen to this.
Go to another issue with you. We're both New Yorkers, and the city's picking a new mayor in November. Currently, State Assemblyman Zoran Mandami is leading in the polls, and you were early favorable looking at him. In fact, you came to National Action Network both times he came. and on the platform with him. And it's a crowded field, but Van Damme has a link to Denzel as well. His mother, filmmaker Mir Nair, all right, I got it right, directed Washington in the 1991 film Mississippi Masala.
Pause here for a second. So do you see that there's Spike Lee right there behind Zoran Mandami? Which I guess doesn't surprise me, because remember, Spike Lee did support Bernie Sanders. So he tends, he's more like progressive. He supports like the progressive policies. And then there's a part of me that wondered about this. What if this has something to do with it? Again, like I told you, it seems like he wanted to create a broader picture of not just about Kaepernick, but the connection to this has happened maybe to other athletes in sports as well, and bringing in that connection with race and politics. And now I'm starting to wonder, what if there was something in the documentary that Spike Lee said about politics that would support more of the progressive style of policy? And
there it is, right? And now, do y'all think y'all can put some of the dots together, can connect some of the dots, right? Like, it's like, what was he talking about? I mean, unless you living in a, you know what I mean? Like, and most of you are, y'all living in a shell, like y'all, you know what I mean? Like when he's talking about the first, Dennis talking about Meg Thee Stallion, like, right? What does she have to do with news? Like, but it was the fact that she lied on her court case, and now that has the whole misandry versus misogyny debate going, right? Is who's the real one that's toxic? Is it the man or the woman, right? And then I shared a little bit of Sabby, because Sabby has the same kind of issue going on, because she's independent, and it's like, Sabby, but you don't pay attention to football at all. Like, that's why you're missing it. It was a lie from the beginning. Right? Colin Kaepernick sat down because he got benched. Right? He was upset that he was getting benched. Now, whether or not it was some prejudice or, bigotry or favoritism, you know what I mean, between the two quarterbacks that was being decided on who's going to be the starter for the year. Yes, that's life. But when we start paying favoritism to, we're going to play favoritism to LGBTQI, you're actually paying favoritism to the devil. No. We play favoritism to God. That's what we do. And when I say we, I'm talking about hip hop, right? And people act like they don't know what I'm talking about because it's only about the music. But I went to my school, my son's high school, in the middle of white suburbia, and it's diverse now. And in the main concourse, they was playing hip hop, Rob bass. It takes two to make a thing go right, right? The Electric Slide or whatever the new, they didn't do Boots on the Ground because that's not in the white culture yet, but they did, the Electric Slide or whatever. What was the one after the Electric Slide? The same line dance, right? They did that song, right? And the white suburban teacher, she's the DJ, right? But she played all the songs that we played at a black cookout. But at a real black cookout, we're gonna bang a little bit of, Wu-Tang. They ain't down with that Wu-Tang yet. Or KRS-One, that real KRS-One. We can count the dough or kick a flow. Chill out watching videos. Act really silly, yo. But really, though, all that can end. Whether at the bars with superstars, cruising in the trooper car, really don't care who you are. All I really need is a friend. All right, peep the lyrics, right? If you can't have trust, then you can't hang with us. But yet, we keep promoting all these dang liars. like that's the real culture. That's what we talking about. So, and Spike Lee's one of them, right? That's why I ain't even shared that video yet where Judge Joe Brown is on baby boomers. So yeah, Spike Lee is a baby boomer because he was born before 1960, right? I'm saying 1960 to 1979 is Generation X, right? Who are you to decide? Hey, shut it. Stop moving the goalpost so that you can include Barack Obama. He's a baby boomer. No, he's Generation X. It's just that he's not a real hip hopper. Just like he's not really black. He wants to say he's African American, but you gotta pick a side. Are you African or are you American? Barack. You gotta pick a side, yo. That's the problem. So he's a Democrat. All right, cool. Bye. That party has to die. Has to die. So that we know who our enemy is. And then we can work with God to create a new political party. I'm saying call it Foundational Americans. Right? I'm a foundational black American. Call it Foundational Americans. But I know, understand that as soon as I see a white person say, I'm a foundational white American, you're part of the problem. Right? That makes you either a colonizer or a globalist. I don't really bang with them like that. But I love God. I respect Lord, and I seek wisdom. Sabbath day, make it today if you like. Fatherhood, mother, live life. Befriend, then marry. Right? This is basic commandments. Give, and you will receive. True, false. Peace and happiness. Stop killing, stop robbing, stop stealing, stop lying. Like, why I gotta talk to y'all like y'all 2-year-olds? My son going to high school next year. It's a beautiful high school too. Already seen 3 kids go through it. So it's my son's turn and I'm looking forward to it, Maybe, it's gonna be exciting. And he'll be back through soon that we can do another video and I can be less aggressive and toxic masculinity to you. But, hit the like button if you like. I need subscribers. I'm still at 69. Like, why am I still at 69 subscribers? And I know I'm past my 30-minute mark, but I said enough. Love God, our Father, all the time, hip-hop life. One love, one love. Be happy just to have just one love. That is God is love, hip-hop is life, time is holy. Stop treating it like it's hell, right? Money, once again, it's nothing more than a fourth dimensional illusion that really doesn't exist because real macro or micro economics is nothing more than the art of making the most out of hip hop. And that's life. Peace.